come into the dome in St. Louis, one of the biggest buildings in the United States, which houses football games, basketball games, and they compete in the robotics championship of the world. They build robots, and the competition is about how many frisbees can robots. There's 3 robots on each team, and it's like a volleyball court. And how many frisbees can those robots throw into a small hole? And these kids have built those robots. They all look like lunar landing machines, and they are competing. We had 3 teams from Turkey in that competition. 3 teams from Turkey amongst the 69 nations. So I'm very hopeful. I am extremely excited about the future of the Turkish American society here, growing, making a contribution. I am so proud that there is now another Fortune 500 CEO, Hikmet Ersek of Western Union, who I have mentored for many years. I am so proud that we have one of the finest entrepreneurs in America in Hamdi Ulukaya, the owner and the creator of Chobani Yogurt, who came here without a university degree, who had courage, who had the foresight, and now he's built the world's largest yogurt plant in Idaho and is taking over market share from Danone, Nestle, Kraft, everyone, every day. And he is, again, humble entrepreneur. So important to be humble, so important to carry your own bag. I always do it. I know many, many more Hamdi Ulukayas and Hikmet Erseks are going to be here in the coming years, and we will all see and witness that. And so my advice to all of you is you don't be afraid of where you want to go. Dream big and go. And always ensure that you have fun in what you're doing. If I had not had fun in what I'm doing for the last 35 years, I know I wouldn't be here. Because you can't do something that you don't have fun for 35 years.
As a dean of a business school, I'm very proud to have a Turkish American lead the most important brand in the world. My question is, during Gulf War, it's no secret that this American sentiment in Turkey wasn't very favorable. And one of the things that emerged was a Coke product, not Coca-Cola. A cola emerged in Turkey that was playing anti-American sentiment. And what did Coca-Cola do to be so successful again in Turkey? How did you approach this anti-American sentiment and reestablish Coca-Cola as the brand?
I'll come to Cola Turca, but first, let me just refer to this brand America. When Clinton left office, brand America was at a pretty high level. I remember the time when I was in Turkey when he came, right after the big earthquake, the world stood, froze, and people cried all over Turkey when he hugged that young little child and took him in his arms and visited the earthquake area, and brand America was riding pretty high. According to Pew Research, was around the 70s, 80s in terms around the world, and then of course it went down to the 20s, the lowest ever, and then now it's come back up, not to the same levels as when the Clintons left office, but it's better. So nothing stays the same in the world, number one. Nothing goes up always in a straight line. Careers don't. People's lives don't. People's relationships don't. Marriages don't. There's ups and downs. That's about the world. Cola Turca, I think, we didn't really have to do too much because eventually people realized that anti-American sentiment does not make a good beverage.
as you can. We are very impressed and proud of your success story. And I personally wonder, what's your future plans after you retire, or maybe later? Do you plan to take an active role in the Turkish-American relations, or is there any other passion of yours that you want to dedicate yourself to, such as like a football club? Or
I don't think of retirement right now. Because I'm blessed and fortunate that I can, continue with some of my passions without having, and still doing what I'm doing. As I said, one of my passions is education and giving. Having formed this foundation for our family, that's one of my passions. Another passion of mine is making organic olive oil. I have a small farm. I don't get to go there much, but I can still enjoy the olive oil and give it to all my friends, both here in the United States as well as all across the world. So I can continue those passions, and I love what I do. So therefore I don't think of retiring. And I believe that I play a very small role to help U.S.-American relations in a positive way in what I do today. So I don't have to retire to do that. So I'm very happy doing what I'm doing. Thank you.
I just wanted to add one question. I think Mr. Ken is about to leave, right?
Yeah, we're going to take a photo. Before I leave, I again want to acknowledge the leadership of Congresswoman Virginia Fox. I really think that we have a wonderful leader in her energy.
And I wanted to add one personal experience that with Mr. Camp that confirms everything we talked about today. Of course, we're all very proud of him as a Turkish American, as one of the top CEOs in the world. But also his father, of course, Allah was an inspiration to all of us for what he had done during the darkest hours in the world, in humanity, during the Nazi occupation of France. On a personal level, I am a UN Goodwill Ambassador for Yasuni ITT, which is a part of the Ecuadorian Amazon. About 2 years ago, I introduced you to a fellow ambassador, Bodrek, and the minister, just at a UN meeting at the Turkish Center, actually. And then he took the information down, and now Coca-Cola is one of the biggest funders of that project, which is really important to protect biodiversity and as well as protecting the indigenous people who are in voluntary isolation. So I thank you personally also for that.